I made the biggest mistake of my vending career to date, and I'm just so... I have no words. I have no words. So let's talk about Leicester Card Show. So the location was the Oldstone Leisure Centre in Leicester. Very easy to get to, very simple, straightforward. You got into the car park, big massive shutters that were open. Luckily the guy knew who I was, so just managed to get straight in. You know, got into my booth, my position, very simple, very easy, all good. But yeah, made the biggest mistake of my vending career. So we're going to go through the three different topics, which is affordability, trades and buy-ins. So let's start with affordability. So for affordability, it gets 4 shields. So the table price was 70 a table, which is a really good price for tables. With the amount of people that came in, it felt about the right price to do for vendors. He was getting people in all the way through, which was great. There was still people walking in at around about 3:30. He was very cleverly dealt with the situation, adapted to the situation and got it sorted, and still dealt with socials that were pulling it through. You know, changed the price to suit, as it were, to the point where he was able to, you know, have people in for the last couple of hours for £1 a ticket, which worked out really well. For affordability, 4 shields, I did around about, I think it was about 30%. It was just under 30%. It was about 28% of fuel, tables, etc. So it wasn't too bad for a show. I'll talk about it at the end, but yeah, the $10,000 mistake that I will be rectifying 100% on the next part of my journey for sure. So yeah, let's talk about trades. So trades, unfortunately, I'm going to have to give it 3 stars, 3 shields. I had very little to nothing given in a trade. It was literally only with a few expensive items that it saved me. I traded for the Celebration Charizard, and I got back a couple of high-end, including like Mega Shining Gengar from the EX series, XY series. There was a couple of other cards that were really decent, and luckily I was able to trade my high end for their high end, so it worked out very well. But I think I ended up with just shy £250-300 worth of trades in the end, so it wasn't really a massive sort of amount, which is why it got 3 stars. It felt very difficult to get trades. A lot of people bought, you know, not many people were giving me the option to trade at all. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed in that side. I was quite lucky at the same time for hosting the Wolverhampton Card Show the week before, and you know, when you host a show, it obviously works generally in your favour a lot, and I think that's a good thing as well. So I managed to deal with a decent amount of stock there, which again was also very nice. But yeah, from a perspective of trades, it was only 3 shields. So how did I do with buys? So buys was 4 shields in total. Again, there wasn't really much offer to me in ways of a vast amount of product. I think one of the best items that I had, very little to best, that I was actually given was the Pikachu folder, the world's promo Pikachu folder, where it was like 9 Pikachu. It had its own select binder, and it was really cool. The only problem with that, with the actual buyer itself, was that he was looking at US prices and hoping to get that, whereas I was obviously offering UK prices. Guys, please utilize the apps, which is the next part that I'll be talking about. You know, Slabbed, Pulse TCG, that kind of stuff. Really easy way to show you the UK market first off. If there's no UK market sales, then it will move to US, but if there is a UK market, it will take that as the priority. So it's very important that you learn to discern between the UK and the US market. Helps us a lot, helps you a lot, gives you an idea as well. But yeah, let's talk about the topic at hand, which is basically down to the fact that I lost $10,000 worth of product, and it was down to my fault entirely, and it was just the worst experience. Not even on the day, totally fine, made profit on the product because versus what I paid for them at the time. Waking up this morning to find the point where PSA had sold it for $9,500. Do you see how much worse that was? I was in distraught because I recorded that on the day, and it was way, way worse than what I thought it was. So it was well over 10,000 loss. Massive kick in the gut, because it shows that I'm not paying enough attention to my stock. So the first item which I will show you here is the Coro. So they're both Coros to give you an idea, so you get an idea where this is going. So the first one was the Coro Jigglypuff. So original market price was around about on average £600. Are you ready for this? I sold it for £20. And the worst part is I gave him 20 quid off. So basically he got a £600 card for free. And it's a massive kick in the teeth. And it's very much taught me a lesson. It gets even worse, right? So the next card is the Ivy Pikachu Coro promo in a PSA 7. Now, they paid £150 for this, and it literally last sold for $9,500 as one of the, like, in a US, obviously. But the point is that we're talking, like, over $10,000 worth of product that went out for £170. So, we are talking less than 10%. We're probably talking 2% of the current costs versus market. So, I have made a 98% market price blunder here. This has taught me a very valuable lesson. I really shouldn't take stuff for granted, and I really need to keep on top of this. Now, they do not sponsor this at all whatsoever. However, I will be utilizing Pulse TCG or Slabbed, especially when it comes to my inventory. Staff members that I will have at my show, I will be constantly dealing with them on a daily basis to make sure they are updating this app, and the stock they have in front of them will mirror my portfolio, so they will know if anything's gone up. I agree, this is wholeheartedly my fault. I'm pretty damn gutted that I got I got caught sleeping like that. Never again. I will never again get caught sleeping like that. And it's a pretty wounding feeling, because even though I did make profit, we're only talking like £20-30 like max across the pair, and now someone could be making the best part of 10,000 off this. So look, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do. The deal was struck. You know, as far as I'm concerned, it was like legal tender, and it's something that I need to really reiterate back. And especially as vendor yourselves, learn from my mistake and really get to grips with the fact that it will always be your responsibility to deal with this. It's just one of those things, you know what I mean? It's a life lesson. I'll learn from it. I'm still happy with where I am. But yeah, it's just a really big hit. And yeah, just I'm pretty gutted. So that's it for this week. Yeah, Leicester Card Show. So shout out to Lee, because he's just a nice guy and he's really pushing for these shows to do the best that they can. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it. POVs are definitely still coming. I'm just getting this one out. I was at a wedding rehearsal today, so I get married tomorrow, and when you see this I will be married. So then I have no excuse to get on with the edit. So Cardiff Part 2 will be out very soon, and yeah, appreciate all the support, and I will see you in the next one where hopefully I make 10 grand versus losing it. So yeah, thanks guys, cheers.